Now, yeah, I heard you say you were from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a movie coming out soon
Okay,
about
you got it, baby? Okay.
about the riots. I mean, is it the rebellion?
Right.
Specifically, the incident at the
Algiers
Algiers Hotel.
Motel, right.
Are you looking forward to this? Or?
I'm definitely looking forward to the movie by Catherine Bigelow, the only woman to win an Oscar for directing. And she's now directed a phenomenal film. I've seen the film several times. It's an incredible film that engages with the urban rebellion of Detroit more broadly, and more specifically, a particular incident of tragedy on the night of July 23rd, I think it was, 1967. At least that's when the urban rebellion began. And during that urban rebellion, the police brutally slayed 3 young black men. And that film is unstinting in its investigation of the psychopathology of white supremacy and the degree to which there was an inability to recognize the humanity of those young black men. So that film is remarkable, it's powerful, it's disturbing, and it's something that I think all of America needs to see.
Now, I personally had a problem with it in terms of the authorship and the fact that it was. I thought I was going in to see something about the rebellion, and actually it was about sort of the opposite. So I took away a different kind of message. So
Well, you got to adjust your expectations. If you go in thinking one thing, I understand that. But if she says up front that this is about the investigation of a particular incident within the larger urban rebellion, then we have to take that as the jump-off point for what the film is about. I understand people's disappointment, but look, I write books, and I understand people disappoint. I thought your book, well, this is what my book is about. Make your book, write your book, create your film, create your reality. But this is what I'm about. I think Catherine Bigelow says this is the investigation of the particular element of tragedy that I'm addressing. And in doing so, I think you have to limit it. Look, she's a filmmaker, not a documentary maker. If she were making a documentary, absolutely right. But on a film that is meant to snag the ears and eyes of people, it is hard to keep people interested and motivated in an act of entertainment on a serious social issue without bringing tremendous skill and magic to bear, and that's what you did. And limiting the palette of colors from which you draw in order to paint a particular issue of tragedy that occurred. So I think people should give it a chance. I'm very sensitive to that because, again, people come to me, man, I heard your book. Did you read my book? No, but I heard, well then, Negro, be quiet. If my book you do not read, do not attempt to make me bleed. So my point is, check out what she did, evaluate it for yourself, then draw conclusions about what it might mean.
okay, well, I think the sad part is that very little seems to have changed. How much has changed? Since then?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Not much has changed. 50 years later, after that urban rebellion, after that incident of horrible trauma against black bodies, Philando Castile in Minnesota, Eric Garner in New York, Tamir Rice in Cleveland, Sandra Bland in Texas, John Crawford in Ohio. Time and time and again, name after name after name, the victims of vicious violence and police brutality continue to accumulate. And the tragedy is, 50 years later, we still live in an America where the lives of black people are neither respected or recognized, and the humanity of black people not taken as a basis of interaction with us.
That's fair. And then, if you want to say anything about 444 and black billionaires, I'm cool.
Well, what's better than one black billionaire? 2, especially if they're the same hue as you. Y'all stop me when I stop telling the truth. Look, billionaires are important, and I'm not mad at that. But we want to build intergenerational wealth. We want to create an infrastructure of the transmission of wealth from one black generation to another, from one black family to another. And it's important for us to build up those assets and to make sure we accumulate not only capital, but that capital that works for itself, that creates more capital. And not simply having a job, but having a vocation of wealth building that allows us to transmit that to our children and to their children. So it's extremely important for Jay-Z and others to elevate that, to talk about buying black, banking black, investing in black, and making sure that we create the opportunities that we want others to create for our own families, children, and loved ones.
But however, there's a flip side to it, or no? You expressed it.
No. Well, the flip side in what? What do you mean? In terms
Well, I mean, it's generational wealth and so on. But I mean, is everybody going to be a billionaire?
No, that's what I said. That's why I said that billionaires are great, but we're trying to talk about something much more broad. everyday normal people being able to just enjoy life, being able to transmit to their kids wherewithal that they didn't have. So no, everybody can't become a billionaire, neither should everybody aspire to that. What we should aspire to is a way of life that affords us the opportunities to enjoy it and to love our loved ones and provide opportunities for them. You know, the sociologist Mary Patillo wrote a book, Black Picket Fences. And in there she argues that one of the things black people do, the reason we don't accumulate enough wealth and generate enough capital, is because when we make it, we help others. When we accumulate wealth, we share it with others. Or even before wealth, when we get income that is above what we grew up with, we end up sharing that with so many other people in our family. And because the need is so deep and so great and so complicated and so broad a network of necessity for us to share with others, we don't get a chance to develop the same kind of intergenerational wealth that others are able to do in this American society of ours, especially white brothers and sisters who come from a long lineage of inheritance and therefore transmission. So yeah, everybody can't be a billionaire, neither should everybody aspire to that, but what we should all aspire to is a decent wage, a decent manner of living, a decent income that matches what we are. Today happens to be equal pay for black women. We know that black women lag behind. Not 80% of what white men make, 67% often of what white men make. And so we have to close the wage gap between black women and others, and black women are the most educated members of our society in terms of African American people, and increasingly in the broader society, and yet they are continually denied the opportunity to exercise wealth and to engage in a meaningful standard of living.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother.
Appreciate it.
All right, my man.
All right, keep slaying them.